is bright. Is this too bright?
Ooh. I didn't know it could get brighter.
Welcome back to Ever Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess, and I'm watching Ever Disney Movie Ever. Today, Sammy is back, and we are going to talk about Escape to Witch Mountain. Escape to Witch Mountain is a 1975 theatrical release. It's directed by Hough. I don't know how you say it, but it's directed by him.
I say you.
Cinematography is by Frank Phillips, editing by Robert Stafford. It was written by Robert Malcolm Young, and it is based off a book of the same name by Alexander Key. The film stars Eddie Albert, Kim Richards, and Ike Eisenmann. Eddie Albert has 2 Best Supporting Actor nominations for Roman Holiday and The Heartbreak Kid. He was also in the Brother Rat films, Oklahoma, The Longest Yard, and Green Acres. He's a really cool dude. Check him out. Thanks.
Kim Richards. Jess already spoke a lot about her in The Whiz Kid and The Mystery at Riverton. You can find that video in the description down below.
Ike Eisenmann is best known for this and Star Trek The Wrath of Khan. He made a ton of TV appearances and a spoof film in 2002 called The Blair Witch Mountain Project.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
I want to see it.
Me too.
Alien Children.
That's great. Way to spoil it.
Sorry.
Just kidding.
I mean,
the movie's
okay.
about alien children.
It's from 1975. If they don't know by now, then they're never going to know unless I tell them.
Unless you heard it here first, kids.
Unless the more you know.
It started really scary. I thought it was going to be a lot scarier than it was because the music and the outlines and the dog chasing, scary.
It was actually really cool. I don't even know how they would have done that effect. If it was like they filmed I mean, obviously the dogs were hand-drawn.
Yeah, of course.
Duh. But like the children running towards the screen, I don't know if that was like filmed and then they like somehow blacked out.
Yeah, they cut it out and laid over the film, probably.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Probably.
I mean, for the time, I mean, that's amazing.
Frame by frame.
So cool. So very artistic, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were taking leaps with this film, like special effects wise and visual effects wise.
Yeah.
The visual effects, we'll get to. Practical effects in the film, though, were amazing.
And practical sets, too.
The sets were insane. Hal Gausman did set decoration. They were really, really stunning sets. Pretty standard 70s costumes.
So good. It was so
70s.
So 70s.
Kim Richards' outfits were next level. Like,
yeah.
I didn't even notice Ike's outfits. It was all like every time Kim Richards was on the orange one, the one with the orange.
Oh my god,
pants,
it was
too
so
much. The puppet scene, yeah. You grew up with the 1995 version of Escape to Witch Mountain.
Yes. Okay, so it was 1995 with Elizabeth Moss. So 1995 version with Elizabeth Moss and Eric Von Detten. Words, names.
That's why I did the heavy stuff.
So I loved that movie. Anytime it was on the Disney Channel, I was like all about it. And as a teenager, when I had the internet, I was like trying to find either VHS or DVD, whatever I could find. And I unfortunately have a lot of disdain for the film that we're talking about today because this is the only one I could ever freaking find.
Yeah.
So it's just, as much as I, enjoyed this film, I'm still very angry that this is the only one that I can ever find when I'm looking for Escape to Witch Mountain.
I look forward to hopefully one day watching the 95 one. Hopefully.
Have me back.
Cross your fingers. And I didn't grow up on any Witch Mountain. I saw Race to Witch Mountain in 2009 with Anna Sophia Robb and The Rock. Hey, how's it going? Dwayne Rock Johnson. And I didn't have super strong feelings about that film because I was 15 in 2009, so I was like, oh yeah, it was good. I'm like, fine, but it wasn't, a childhood movie for me because I didn't see the 95 version and I'd never seen the 75 version. This was the first time I ever saw the original Escape to Witch Mountain.
This is my first time too.
And it's pretty good.
I would say it's really good. Like, the first, what would you say, hour?
It's an hour and a half, so probably the first hour, 5 minutes.
Was so strong.
It was great. It was fast and nothing felt too slow.
Yeah.
The cinematography was amazing.
Yes.
The movement, the effects, the practical effects, the crayon on the mirror.
Yeah.
The puppets, as much as we could see the strings, that was still cool. They're making puppets dance by themselves.
Yeah.
And anything that was like flying around that was practical. Throwing an actual motorcycle into the ocean. Throwing real cars into lakes. Like that was, actually shooting with a helicopter and not
Yeah.
The handheld movement was insane, like when the one guy was getting attacked.
Oh my God.
And it was definitely like the camera just
With
keeps going in on him. It's great.
With the broom and
the
hat.
broom was great.
So
but the first
funny.
hour, like story-wise specifically, it was so strong in the first hour, and then we took some turns. We took some turns that just took us completely out of it, because there was even a part we got teary during the good part of the film, like when they were talking to Jason O'Day, Eddie Albert, about his past and everything, and how he's just like this crotchety old man, and you were just like, oh my God.
It's so amazing. But like his introduction into the film was amazing, because he's just like, I hate everyone, and I definitely don't like kids, and if these children were to cross my path, I definitely wouldn't be nice to them or whatever. And then of course they hide in his Winnebago, and
which flew.
That
Winnebago was so fast.
And it took every turn so well. And I was telling her, I was just like, yeah, because it's a Winnebago from the 70s, it lasted about 10 years, and being able to do that stuff after that, it was garbage.
It was garbage after that. Winnebago. Well, that was a speed little demon RV.
Yeah, it was
flying.
It was flying.
Literally.
But yeah, so
introduction to him, and then he turns out to be this sweet old man who like wants them.
Yeah, and you like hated him. I mean, you didn't
hate him. I was like, oh, he's kind of, I don't like him. And then like literally 5 minutes later, I was like, I love him. He's so great. Yeah. I like, you got teary. You were invested in the characters, which is like, we know how I feel. Characters are everything to me. Relationships between characters are everything to me.
Development.
I could give a crap about what's actually happening as long as the characters and relationships between those characters.
And
are
the
really
chemistry.
Great.
The chemistry was great between all three of them.
Chemistry was really great between all three of them. The brother and sister totally. Oh, the cat.
The casting.
Winky.
Well, and the cat.
I think you said cat.
Yes. Well, okay.
Winky.
Winky was just adorable.
And the wink. The boomerang.
The boomerang of a wink.
Definitely a boomerang.
Oh, we should do that. Ready?
Oh my God.
So, the casting.
Dave Bautista was so great.
Dave Bautista was so good in this movie.
It's like he went back in time, but also went forward in time because he's much older in this movie.
Amazing. Time travel is real, because we know that Dave Bautista loses all of his muscle mass, gets old, and then goes back in time to be in this movie.
Yeah, Dave Bautista, 100%. Casting was great, although it was like a lot of old men and then the 2 young children.
Yeah.
It was like no one parent aged.
No.
Like no one in their 30s was in this movie. It was all like 70 and 10.
Yeah,
that was it.
That was it.
It's like, Uncle, are you sure? It looks like your grandpa.
Well, I think they were casted well as far as how they look. They look like they could be siblings.
Oh my God. They have the exact same eye color.
Yeah.
And they're both blonde.
Yeah.
Although in the book they're described as olive skin tone with white hair.
White hair?
Mm-hmm. Because they're aliens.
That's why he had white hair.
So the music was great.
And I'm pretty sure there was a theremin, which is that thing that you play with your hands in the bar, and that it just controls. It's like an electric
heard of this
field.
Until she talked about it. Yeah.
It's basically an electric field that makes sounds, I think, is how it's science.
Science.
It's science.
But it's very electronic, and like you've never really heard anything like that.
As far as like
all the other music in the 70s films so far have been like, you know, funky, you know, like very like college funky. Where this is very electronic, gives you that like
otherworld,
scary alien vibe.
Yeah.
That we associate with aliens now.
Exactly. And I wonder if it had any part in it. Just because, like, yeah, I mean, you want to give it that just spooky, like...
You want to give it an otherworldly feel, and we hadn't... That instrument and that sound wasn't really associated with music yet, so to use that to your advantage... I mean, to this day, anytime there's music that has to do with aliens, there's some kind of electronic vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
You say space sounds, and they're all electronic, like...
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like, I mean, freaking lightsabers are like vibrating lasers.
Yeah, I mean, so like my... thought when we were watching this, I was like, God, someone from like that was in the 70s watching this was probably like, wow, that's freaking amazing.
Weird sound.
And so cool, you know? So I just thought that was very interesting, and that was, I feel like, very popular at that time, or at least coming into popularity at that time. Yeah. And that's just cool to watch.
On top of that, with the music, it was also like, there were some scary themes, like scary underlying musical themes, like the opening song was like scary because they were like being chased by dogs and like as much as I love dogs, I don't think I want to be chased by vicious ones. Like, you know, so that was kind of scary and just it was a really good score all around.
I do feel like because it's so suspenseful and the story is really good, I totally understand why this is a classic.
Oh, definitely. And it's so well done quality-wise.
Yes, I thought.
You know, like a lot of look at Snow White. You can watch that movie today. It might be a little boring.
Yeah.
But it holds up. You know, anything Disney-wise that is considered a classic is because it holds up.
Yeah.
Escape to Witch Mountain, really high quality. You can tell it's from the 70s because of the outfits and all that kind of stuff.
But it doesn't deter from the story.
Absolutely not. It's appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, the wood paneling and red shag carpet and the tiled ceilings. I mean, come on. It's about as 70s as it gets.
It's so good. I mean, but that's also the fun when you're watching a movie from that time.
Oh, definitely.
That's what makes it fun too.
That's one of the best parts of watching this in order.
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, the story, as we were saying way back when, it's great, and then you hit like the hour mark. Woo! And the kids just conveniently start remembering where they're coming from. Like, you know, she remembers shipwreck because they had said fishing. That made a little bit of sense. So it's like, okay, she got a little reminder there. But all of a sudden, they just remember they're from another planet that had 2 suns. And they spoke a different language and all this stuff in like a 3-minute time span in the car. And Jason is like, yeah, right.
Yeah, which is it's such a departure from where he was at the beginning, where he was like, I'm a crotchety old man, and now I'm with space alien children, I don't care.
I totally believe, and they're children. You know how like children play make-believe, so a lot of times adults don't believe what they say?
Yes.
So it's like, if I had a 10-year-old who had telepathic powers and has like proven that, I'd be like, all right, something's going on.
Right.
But if they were like, I'm from a planet with 2 suns, I'd be like, Pixar didn't happen. Like, you know, like, it took that turn and it was so expository.
Yes.
They're like figuring, like their remembering was so expository. It was literally like, oh, we don't know how to get them to remember this, so they just do. And they're going to tell the audience.
And that's just like, unfortunately, I feel like a lot of these like sci-fi, even today, they just chalk it up to it's magic, or it's aliens, or it's time travel. It is what it is. Like,
there's no
actual
I mean, there was
explanation.
also no like cool, like you could have had them remember they were aliens in some awesome like climactic moment, and then they have like superpowers. I mean, they already had powers, but like all of a sudden it's like heightened. Yeah. Because they remember their aliens and where they came from. Like, that would have been so sick.
Which is what I think.
Aliens.
I'm not 100% sure because I'm only... The last time I saw the 1995 version, when I was maybe in middle school. But I'm pretty sure that's kind of how they learn about it. Or at least, like... I don't know. There's just more, I think,
they find out in a better way.
In a better way, because they...
100%. Yeah, instead of just like, and we don't even see them remember that.
Yeah.
Like, they had been doing flashbacks this whole time of a shipwreck, so, like, you're kind of like, okay, she's remembering something, and it's getting clearer. But then when they remember they're aliens from another planet, we see nothing of that. It's just them telling us. And I think, I don't full on remember, because I only saw it the one time in the theaters, the 2009 version of Race to Witch Mountain. I'm pretty positive they knew they were aliens the whole time. Yeah. And they're just trying to get to Witch Mountain and they enlist Dwayne Johnson's help. Yeah. So they took away that whole them finding out their alien situation and just were like, they already know, because it makes more sense that way.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is for this being 75. I think, you know, Disney eventually, obviously, they learned from those mistakes, and then, you know, I'm sure both of the ones that we've seen also have their own fair share of mistakes.
Oh, 100%.
So, you know, it's just a learning curve, I think, as far as because is this the first sci-fi-ish? No?
No.
Like, as far as, like,
Moon Pilot.
Oh, okay.
There was an alien in Moon... Wow, I pulled that out of my butt. Moon Pilot had an alien in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But was it as in-depth as this? I feel like...
No, she was just an alien and was like, she was a French alien.
Oh, French alien.
And she wanted him to come to her planet because he was a sweetie pea. And there was a monkey. Of course. That was the monkey age. It ruined the rest of the movie for us because then the RV flew. And the flying Winnebago.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
we couldn't.
It was literally downhill from the moment that they're explaining their lives, because it was like the explanation and then the boring car chase, another car chase.
It was long, and nothing happened in it except the flying RV and the upside-down helicopter.
Yeah, which
was also very fake. So it's like they had such amazing effect. Like the crayon on the mirror was incredible.
So
drawing on the mirror,
good.
that was real. I couldn't even see a string.
No.
I was like, no, this is happening.
It was really cool.
It was really, really amazing. And then the flying RV. It was like, no, even the flying UFO was better than the flying RV. And the RV is a real thing.
When will the car chases end?
You want to know when the car chases end? The kids had adopted parents in the film, and both of those parents passed away. There is no mention of original parents ever in the movie. And they considered those parents their parents. They called them mom and dad. So we're going to count them as parent of. So it's just let you know, if you ever pull up to someone in a car and you're 2 feet from them, don't honk the horn.
It doesn't need to happen.
Just open the window and say, hey, we're here.
About the zooms.
The zooms!
Zooms.
Gotta love the dramatic zooms. We have a few. The entire lifetime gross of this movie is $20 million. And for the 70s, that's really good. They did great, and they made like $8.5 million in rentals alone, and rentals haven't even been a thing that long. So like, good for Escape to Witch Mountain. That's all I gotta say. Go Kim Richards, like Eisenmann. You know what I'm saying? And then the film was shot in like Monterey and Santa Cruz and all different parts of California, even though the book takes place on the Atlantic coast.
You also have to think about the time too. Mm-hmm. Like they were probably so down with those effects, that flying RV.
Oh, are you kidding? Well, on digital, that's the reason we can see the strings and stuff.
Yeah.
On film, that... Woo, thanks, Larry. Thanks for telling me those things. Yeah, in 75 at the theater.
Like magical.
Woo! I would be like, they're freaking aliens, bro! 7 aliens.
7 aliens. Ooh. No, 7 aliens.
7 aliens out of 10. For sure.
Yes.
Our total movie count is... One more. Our parent death toll is... They were our parent death toll together. Ah! Both their adopted parents died. If you didn't catch that earlier, okay? Cry count is still the same. We did not cry.
Almost.
We got a little verklempt, but we did not cry. I was not near crying.
I was like a little teary, but I wasn't like.
I was emotional.
Yeah.
I was not. Oh my god.
But I'm still curious if you would have cried if I wasn't here.
I don't think I would have cried if you weren't here. I don't. Because I don't think I would have been as emotionally invested in him if you weren't here. Because I didn't like him at first.
True.
But then I was like, okay, I like him. And then you were like, but he's great. And I'm like, you're right. He is great. So I think with you,
I'm the one that pushed you.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely influence. If you want to keep up with the movie I'm watching when, follow me on Instagram or Twitter, and you can find out what movie I'm watching when. You can also follow Sammy on Instagram. She has 2. She has one all about Disney. She goes to Disneyland all the time. She has her other fun personal one you should check out. She's really pretty and stuff. It's true. I'm just saying, look at her. She's so beautiful.
Except for when I make that face.
No, it's so cute. I put out videos every Monday and Friday. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe, and I'm not sure how you are, so you do, and don't be bolt about it. He was a creepy old man.
Yeah. I can't just Google electronic instrument these days.
I know. That's what I did. I did that while we were watching the movie.
Played with hand is what I was going to say. No, duh. Me.
Electronic instrument played